Hello, dear guys. This is Sangapal Narvade, and I'm going to talk to you about human penis. We better know human penis is the external genitalia seen in all the humans. Now, we know that it is the male sex organ or it is the copulatory organ in humans. So, as we can say that it is a sex organ, that means it helps in the act of sex, it helps in the sexual intercourse, or it help in the process of the copulation. So that's why it is called as the sex organ or the copulatory organ. Okay, about its shape, it is said that the penis is cylindrical in shape. It is like a cylinder. Okay, it is like a cylinder, and it is pendulous. That means it is hanging in position. It is pendulous and muscular organ. Okay, muscular organ, that means it is made up of muscles. Now, if we see the structure of the penis, then it is made up of all those parts. Okay, so it is made up of root, shaft, foreskin, and glans penis. Okay, so this is the structure of the penis that we are going to see in detail. Now, in this figure you can see this is the general body surface. Okay, just see this figure carefully. This is the general body surface, and we can see from here the penis arises, okay, up to here. Okay, from here it arises and it ends over here. So the part of the penis with the help of which the penis is attached to the general body surface, that part is called as the root. So this is the root. Okay, with the help of the root the penis is attached to the general body surface. Later on we can see the next part of the penis, that is the shaft. Okay, in this figure you can see, just look at towards this green line. From here up to here the shaft is extended, so this is the shaft. Up to this is the shaft. Okay, so we'll see about the shaft in detail later on. Next we can see this is the glans penis. Okay, this is the head of the penis. It is a spherical part, head of the penis, and this is called as the glans penis. And over the glans penis there is a skin. Okay, you can see there is a skin over the glans penis, and that is called as prepuce. This skin is called as the prepuce, or it is also called as the foreskin. Okay, and over here you can see, at the end of the glans penis, in the middle of it, the urethral orifice is found. So this is the urethral opening through which the urine and semen given out. Okay, so this figure shows us the structure of the human penis. Now, we will talk about the shaft. We already have seen about the root. Now we will talk about the shaft in detail. So I have shown over here the shaft contains the erectile tissues. Okay, and these erectile tissues, they make the penis erect during the sexual act, or during the non-sexual acts also. Okay, so the shaft contains the two types of erectile tissues. First one is the corpora cavernosa, and second one is the corpus spongiosum. So if someone asks you that how many types of erectile tissues are found in the human penis, then you should tell two types of the erectile tissues are found in the shaft of the human penis. First one is the corpora cavernosa, and second one is the corpus spongiosum. So there are two columns of the corpora cavernosa, and there is a single column of the corpus spongiosum. So we will see that the structure of these erectile tissues in the next figure. Okay, just see over here. Just see, this is the red line. Okay, so which shows the skin of the penis. This is the red line, and inside that I have shown this is the green line. Okay, this is the green line I have shown over here. So the area in between this green line and red line, this whole area, this is the one column. You can see this is the one column. Likewise, that over here, just see, this is the skin of the penis. Okay, and here inside there is a green line I have shown over here. So this is the second column. Okay, so these two columns, okay, I have shown over here, this is the first column and this is the second column. So both they contains the corpora cavernosa. The tissue that is found in both of these columns is the corpora cavernosa. if if we talk about the single type of tissue, then corpus cavernosum. Okay, singular corpus cavernosum and plural corpora cavernosa. So in this column and in this column, the these are the two columns, and in these two columns the corpora cavernosa are found. And now just see in the middle, so this is the one blue line, okay, and this is the second blue line which is passing throughout the shaft. Okay, so the whole area or region in between these two blue lines, this is the another column, and this column contains the erectile tissue, and the name of that erectile tissue is corpus spongiosum. Okay, so that means in this way we have seen here are three columns we have seen, first, second and third. Okay, the two columns contains the erectile tissue called as corpora cavernosa, and the one column that contains the tissue that is called as the corpus spongiosum. You can see corpus spongiosum passes through the midline of the penis. Okay, through the midline of the penis, but it is found on the ventral region. Ventral region means on the lower region of the penis, in the lower side of the penis. And this corpora cavernosa, these are the two columns. So these two columns are found on the dorsal side, or they found dorsolaterally. Okay, so corpora cavernosa they found dorsolaterally. Laterally means away from the center, this is the lateral side, away from the center, this is the lateral side, and they found on the top region or upper region, so that's why dorsal side. And hence it is said that corpora cavernosa found on the dorsolaterally, and this corpus spongiosum, it passes through the center. And you can see I have shown over in the pinkish line there is a tubular structure. Okay, so which is passing throughout the corpus spongiosum, and this structure is called as the urethra. This is the urethra. That means we can say that the urethra is passing through which region of the penis? Through the corpus spongiosum. Okay, and as the urethra is passing through the corpus spongiosum, the urethra is called as spongial urethra. Okay, urethra is called as spongial urethra. And finally you can see over here at the tip of the glans penis, urethra opens into the urethral orifice. Okay, this is the urethral orifice or urethral opening through which the urine is given out, as well as semen is also released during the ejaculation process. So this is the figure that is showing erectile tissues in the penis. We will see one more figure. This figure is also showing the erectile tissues. Okay, so as I have shown, this is the penis, and I have just cut the upper region of the penis over here. Okay, we have just seen, we can see this is the penis, and we have cut the upper region of the penis over here. So this is the cut region. Okay, we have cut this region, and now you can see, as we have cut this is the dorsal region of the penis, and as we have discussed right now, on the dorsal region of the penis, the corpora cavernosa, these two columns are seen. Okay, so from the top we cannot see the corpus spongiosum, because corpus spongiosum is the column that is found below this corpora cavernosa. Over here you can see, if we also cut the penis at this region. Okay, if we take a slice like a cucumber, okay, so here we can see this is the area of the root. Okay, this is the area of the root, and this is the region showing the glans penis. So suppose that we cut the penis like a slice at the region of the root. So you can see the two erectile tissues column can be seen over here. So that is the corpora cavernosa. This is one corpora cavernosa shown in the blue. This is another corpus cavernosum. Okay, shown in the blue, and this is passing as like this over here, okay, and this is passing like this inside, okay, like that. And another one is the, this is shown in the green color, this is the corpus spongiosum. So corpus spongiosum is present below this corpora cavernosa or ventrally to the corpora cavernosa, so over here. And in the middle side of this corpus spongiosum I have shown the urethra, so the urethra is passing through this, okay. And over here you cannot see this corpus spongiosum because corpus spongiosum is passing through the ventral side. And finally this urethra, it comes downward and it opens into the urethral opening or urethral orifice in this figure. So from both of these figure you can be very clear about the erectile tissues in the penis. Now the question arises in our mind that how penis get erected, okay. So the penis may get erected during the sexual act as well as non-sexual acts also, okay. So we'll see that how it get erected. We already have seen that the columns, the erectile tissues are found in the columns, okay. So we have seen the corpora cavernosa, these are the two columns in which the erectile tissues are found, as well as in the corpus spongiosum. So these columns, they contains the sinuses, okay. These columns, they contains the sinuses. Sinuses are the blood vessels, okay. So blood vessels are found in these sinuses. And we know the penis may be flaccid. Flaccid means it is non-erect. During the normal condition it is unerected, so this condition is called as the flaccid condition. So the flaccidity of the penis is controlled by sympathetic nervous system. Keep it in mind for the competitive examinations, okay. And there is one more system that is seen in the nervous system, that is parasympathetic nervous system. So this parasympathetic nervous system, it makes the smooth muscles of the penis relax and brings out the erection of the penis. So if someone asks you that which nervous system helps in the erection of the penis, so this is the parasympathetic nervous system that makes the penis erect. And there is a role of nitric acid, which is stimulated by this parasympathetic nervous system, and this nitric acid is, it brings out the erection of the penis, okay. Now how it is get erected, as we have seen, the sinuses are found in the columns, okay. So the parasympathetic nervous system during the sexual intercourse, it get activated and it stimulate the secretion of the nitric acid. And this nitric acid, okay, what it does, it dilates these sinuses, okay. It dilates these sinuses, or it relaxes these sinuses or blood vessels, and blood flow through these sinuses or blood flow through these sinuses is increases, okay. Blood flow increases, and that makes the penis erect and stiff. So in this way the penis is get erected. Now next part we are going to talk about the glans penis. Already we have seen in the figure the glans penis, it is the rounded free end of the penis. It is rounded and free end of the penis, and penis is attached to the general body surface by the root. It is pinkish colored. The color is pinkish. The glans penis is also called as head of the penis. It is the expanded or swollen part of the penis, we already have seen, and it is covered with the foreskin, okay. The glans penis is covered with the foreskin. And finally we also have seen in the figure, at the tip of the glans penis the urethral opening is found, okay. The urethral opening through which the ejaculation is also takes place, okay. So now this is the foreskin or prepuce. It is also called as the prepucium. So this is the area, or this is the region showing the glans penis, and this is the foreskin found over the glans penis, okay. This is the foreskin, and this foreskin is retractable. That means it can go backward as well as forward. It can go backward and forward, and hence it is called as the retractable skin. So this is the foreskin or the prepuce. Okay, then we can see below the region of this foreskin, this is the region called as the corona. Okay, this is the corona over here, this is the corona. So corona, it is not related with the coronavirus, don't get confused. So in biology, the word corona, it is related with the crown like structure. Okay, so here it is a crown like structure, and hence this region is called as the corona. Okay, and in this region of corona, the preputial glands are found. Okay, in this region of the corona, preputial glands are found. These preputial glands are also called as glands of Tyson. Okay, these are also called as glands of Tyson because the scientist Edward Tyson first of all discovered these glands. Okay, so these preputial glands, they secrete the whitish sticky substance which is called as the smegma. Okay, smegma, and that smegma is accumulated in this region below the prepuce or below the foreskin. So actually the smegma formation is normal, but if someone is not washing its penis carefully usually, then after long time or after few days, accumulation of more smegma takes place, and this smegma, it causes the itching of the skin, redness of the skin, and redness of the glans penis. Okay, so this condition is also called as balanitis in the medicine. Okay, so if the balanitis is happening, then what should we do to get rid of this? Okay, so to get rid of this, there is the way, and that way is called as the circumcision. Okay, circumcision. So circumcision means removal of the foreskin surgically. The foreskin can be removed surgically, and that is the circumcision. Then after circumcision, there is no foreskin on the penis, and as there is no foreskin, the smegma formation would be reduced. Okay, and finally we will see the functions of the penis. So first function, penis is a copulatory organ which plays very important role in the sexual intercourse. It releases the semen in the female genital tract during the act of the sexual intercourse. And the final function, that is it helps in the elimination of the urine. So these are few functions of the penis. If you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Thank you, and we will meet in next lecture with the next part of the male reproductive system.